Do you know what you're made of? Do you know what are the forces that hold you together? Do you know what the strongest force in all the universe is? It's called the strong nuclear force, and it's generated by an unknown particle that we barely talk about, a particle called the gluon. Hello everyone, and welcome to my speech. My name is Jeremy Teo, and today we're going to talk about the challenges to scientific discovery, the challenge of discovering a great scientist. After listening to this speech, you will know what these challenges are through the story of one of our greatest but little known scientists, the story of Mrs. Sol La. The first challenge to discoveries in science and the discovery of a great scientist is self-confidence. It's the discovery of yourself. You see, Salan Wu was born in Hong Kong during World War II, far, far away from any great university of the time. And her mom couldn't even read or write. For this reason, she never thought that she could become a scientist. In fact, she just wanted to paint pretty pictures. But one day, her dad left the family, and she and her mom became very, very poor. And she wanted to cry. She wanted to fall apart. Can you imagine being in that difficult situation? But Saolin said to herself, I'm going to study. I'm going to study a lot because that is the way that I can build a life for myself and my mom. Can you imagine being forced to become stronger? Because that's exactly what Saolin Wu did. She studied and became strong. Which led to the second challenge in the discovery of great science and great scientists. And that is the challenge of credibility. Having other people believe in you and your ideas. You see, Saolin Wu applied to many universities, but these universities didn't want her. Universities like Princeton and Caltech, famous universities, said, Saolin, you're not special enough. We can't allow you to come into our university because our universities are for men. Can you imagine being blocked just because of the way you were born instead of how great your ideas are? Can you imagine how that would tear you apart inside? But that didn't stop Saolin Wu. She continued to apply and eventually was accepted. But her professors said, no, Saolin, you can't come to my lab. How was Saolin able to discover anything if she didn't have equipment? Again, can you imagine how all of this suppression could tear you apart? But it didn't. The suppression made Saolin stronger. She started to study harder and harder. And she worked for 10 long years until she could finally become a research scientist and could look inside the atom. But her challenges were not over. The third challenge is a challenge of sacrifice. Particle physics, the type of science that Saolin did, is traveling at the speed of light. Literally, they have a track miles in diameter, and they launch particles at the speed of light to get them to collide. And if you blink, you'll miss what happens. And you won't be able to discover anything. For that reason, Solon was at the lab every single day with her eyes open, studying what happens. And for that reason, she had no time to have her own baby. But she gave birth to an even more profound discovery, the discovery of the gluon, the particle responsible for the strongest force in all of the universe, almost as strong as Solon Wu. In conclusion, most of us still don't know what a gluon is. In fact, most of us have never heard of Solon Wu. They say, Solon who? But I encourage you to study what she did so that you can learn more about the universe. In the future, more and more girls will be able to become great scientists because of what Solon Wu did. I learned so much from studying Solon Wu. I learned about the universe and the forces that shape it. But more than that, I learned about the forces that shape a great scientist, a great woman scientist. You might ask yourself, well, what's the secret of this great strength, of this great force? What drove Solon Wu to go through all of these things as the world tried to tear her apart? Well, here's a quote. Solon Wu says, "The secret is to follow your heart and make sure that your contributions are for the future of humankind." Spoken like a true scientist. Thank you.